For nearly 2 decades, Ellen DeGeneres was one of the most recognizable faces on American television. She danced onto stages, surprised strangers with life-changing gifts, and ended every episode with the same message: be kind to one another. To millions of viewers, she represented warmth, generosity, and resilience. But in 2020, that carefully polished image began to fracture. Allegations from former employees, viral social media threads, and investigative reports painted a far more complicated picture. The story of Ellen DeGeneres is not a simple tale of fame lost overnight. It is a layered narrative of cultural shifts, workplace accountability, public expectations, and the risks of building a brand around personal virtue. Ellen's rise began in stand-up comedy during the 1980s. Her observational humor and distinctive delivery earned her national attention, including an appearance on The Tonight Show starring Johnny Carson.
I'm always thinking about these things because to me life is very precious. It's very special. We're here for such a short time that everything on this earth should have a reason, should have a beneficial purpose. And I feel like everything does, except for fleas. You know? Fleas do nothing at all beneficial. I always thought at times like this when we can't figure it out for ourselves, wouldn't it be great if we could just pick up the phone and call up God and ask him these things? Just pick up the phone and call up God. Yeah, hi God, this is Ellen. Ellen. DeGeneres. DeGeneres. What's so funny? No, I never thought of that. It does sound like that, doesn't it?
By the mid-1990s, she starred in the ABC sitcom Ellen. In 1997, both Ellen and her character publicly came out as gay, marking a historic moment for LGBTQ+ representation on network television. The episode drew enormous ratings, but also significant backlash. In 1998, the show was canceled. Ellen later described the years that followed as professionally isolating and emotionally difficult.
Not only couldn't get a job, couldn't get someone on a phone. I mean, they're literally, the show was canceled and no one called me. It was just, I found out, my assistant read it in the paper. I felt sorry for myself. I felt like this isn't fair. I thought people liked me, and why did this change anything? And I still am the same person, and, everything felt horrible to me.
Her comeback began in 2003 with her voice role as Dory in Finding Nemo, which introduced her to a new generation. That same year, she launched The Ellen DeGeneres Show. The daytime talk show quickly became a rating success. Built on celebrity interviews, comedy segments, audience giveaways, and viral games, it developed a loyal following.
This Cheerios box right there, and here's the big part. If you have a box of Cheerios under your seat, I'm going to give you a special surprise gift. So check and see if you have a box of Cheerios under your seat. So all of you got, isn't that interesting that what a coincidence all of you would get a box of Cheerios. You're all going to share this gift.
Over 19 seasons, the program won more than 60 Daytime Emmy Awards and became one of the most successful syndicated talk shows in history. Ellen's brand centered on kindness, positivity, and generosity. Massive giveaways, emotional reunions, and charitable donations reinforced that image. However, even during the show's peak years, there were occasional whispers about tension behind the scenes. In 2007, during the Writers Guild of America strike, Ellen continued production of her show, a decision that drew criticism from some industry observers. While not a defining scandal at the time, it was an early sign that public perception and internal operations might not always align. The turning point came in July 2020. BuzzFeed News published an investigation featuring allegations from one current and 10 former employees of The Ellen DeGeneres Show. They described a toxic workplace culture marked by intimidation, favoritism, and fear of retaliation. Some alleged experiences of racism and inappropriate behavior by senior producers. Importantly, many employees said the Be Kind message did not reflect their day-to-day reality behind the cameras.
We were in our production meetings, and she would watch Ed go off on people. Ellen would look at Ed, and she would laugh, because I was hoping she was going to say, Ed, you can't be yelling at crew this way. You can't be yelling at people this way. She laughed, and she said, every production needs their dog.
Meaning
Ed is her dog.
like her attack dog.
Her attack dog, so therefore she doesn't need to do that.
The report triggered widespread discussion online. Social media users resurfaced past stories and anecdotes. A viral Twitter thread invited users to share negative encounters with Ellen. Although not all stories were verified, the volume of criticism amplified the controversy. The gap between Ellen's public persona and the allegations of internal dysfunction became the central focus of media coverage. Warner Media, the show's parent company, launched an internal investigation. The review resulted in the termination of 3 senior producers, including executive producer Ed Glavin. In response, Ellen sent a memo to staff acknowledging that something changed and apologizing for the pain caused. She stated that as the show grew, she relied on others to manage daily operations and was unaware of certain issues. She pledged to ensure changes moving forward. In May 2021, Ellen announced that the 19th season would be the show's last. She explained that the decision was not solely related to the controversy.
Today?
Yes.
Emotional. It was the first time it really. Well, I told my staff and my crew, and that was emotional. I'm glad that before it leaked, I got to tell my staff and my crew from my own words that they didn't hear it anyplace else, and that was emotional because I haven't been sleeping. I've been trying to anticipate how to tell them, and hope that everybody would take it okay. A lot of people were very emotional, and I got emotional. So that was that first step, and then today was the first time telling everybody else. So it was
stating that she had always intended to end the show after reaching a certain milestone. However, the timing inevitably linked the conclusion to the public backlash. The final episode aired in May 2022, closing a chapter that had defined daytime television for nearly 2 decades. After the show ended, Ellen maintained a relatively low profile. In 2024, she returned to stand-up comedy with a Netflix special titled For Your Approval. In the performance, she addressed cancellation culture and the public criticism she faced. It is important to note that no criminal charges were filed against Ellen DeGeneres herself. The controversy centered on workplace culture and management oversight. Nonetheless, in the court of public opinion, perception often matters as much as legal outcomes. The narrative shifted from beloved host to out-of-touch celebrity with remarkable speed. The story also reflects the evolving relationship between celebrities and social media. In earlier decades, reputation management relied heavily on traditional press. Whether one views Ellen as a leader who lost oversight of a growing organization or as a figure who failed to embody her own slogan, the impact on her legacy is undeniable. The end of the Ellen DeGeneres show marked the conclusion of a defining era in daytime television. Her influence on comedy, representation, and talk show culture remains significant, even as debates about her leadership continue. In the end, the downfall of Ellen DeGeneres was not caused by a single headline. It was the result of cumulative tension between image and allegation, expectation and accountability, fame and scrutiny. Her story serves as a case study in modern celebrity, how quickly public favor can shift, how deeply branding matters, and how leadership is judged not only by what happens on stage, but also by what happens when the cameras stop rolling.